is the place of America's founding and freedom, with a hope and a spirit that arrived on winds from the east. It is a realm ruled by an abundance of weather. Some say that without the taste of winter and adversity, spring and prosperity would not be so sweet. And it is a land graced with a timeless yet lonely beauty, an air that has inspired great thinkers and thoughts: Thoreau, Hawthorne, Dickinson, Frost. Yet few ever have savored or recorded New England as this excursion sets forth to do. If it was one if by land, two if by sea, then the signal for this journey could be three by air. Daybreak on Cadillac Mountain. A narrow rose-colored band of light streams across open seas to find its first landfall here on Acadian shores. As the turning earth ushers America into each new day, morning comes first to Maine. Writer Sarah Orne Jewett found much of her inspiration on the coast of Maine, where many green islands and salt inlets fringe the deep-cut shoreline, and the song sparrows sing all day, and the tide runs plashing in and out among the weedy ledges, and where the balsam firs and bayberry bushes send their fragrances far seaward. This country, just as nature shapes the land, it also shapes the working towns and the people themselves. Beyond stretches of granite and wood lies the promise of fertile soil. In spring, a handful of earth is a handful of hope. In fall, it is a handful of life itself. described as 9 months of winter and 3 months of damn poor sledding. Poet Elizabeth Coatsworth welcomed one long-awaited spring with these words. Now in the stillness, the blossom returns to the tree and the bird to its nest. The light returns to the water and the shadow to the builder. And I return to myself. Spine stands above the rest, Mount Katahdin. Thoreau said it reminded him of the creations of the old epic, vast, titanic, and such as man never inhabits. The hundreds of miles of Atlantic coastline, first charted by Giovanni de Verrazzano in 1524, he described one area with an almost poetic passion, Rhode Island. He called it Refugio, a beautiful or idyllic refuge, a prophecy for what is now one of the most opulent settings one could ever imagine. Rhode Island is a state wed to the open seas, and any sailor can take this 18th century advice. Always go straight forward, and if you meet the devil, cut him in two and go between the pieces. And if anyone imposes on you, tell him to whistle against a northwester. Like the air and the sky and the clouds and the sunlight, no one can lay exclusive claim to the White Mountains, wrote naturalist Julius Ward. This is a place with a power and a vengeance that humbles all who experience it. After walking in these mountains, poet Lucy Larcom penned the following. One world, there is no separation, the same earth above and below. Up here is the river's cloud cradle. Down there is its fullness and flow.
10-yard line. First down, Dartmouth.
If a river drops 10 feet in elevation, harness its power and put it to work. An old adage that rang true in every New England mill town. Manchester rose to become the most industrious of all, and its stature reigns over New Hampshire today. You must come to this place more than once if you expect to have your mind filled with anything more than the perception of a brilliant cloud, Nathan Hale said in surveying this land. No country is well known until after a second visit. We return with minds furnished with new powers for observation. Fresh objects start up, and new beauties disclose themselves. You must come to this place more than once. Words spoken from the White Mountains that echo throughout this land called New England.
This is the time for you to go public, to make a difference to WGBH Channel 2 and Channel 44, to help us keep programs like this over New England coming. We'd love to send you the video of this program for your pledge of $75 right now. Just ask for it when you call 492-1111, and we'll make sure it gets on its way as soon as possible. This is a time in the year when it's very important for us to have your pledge. It's a time when we're asking for those who've never been WGBH members to join, and for those whose membership is up for renewal, to make that renewal pledge right now. So we're making it as easy as we can for you to go public, for you to make a difference, for you to become a member of WGBH. Make your call now and ask for the video if you pledge $75 or more. We'd like to thank you for calling 492-1111 with your pledge and for charging your pledge on American Express, Visa, or MasterCard. It's very important that you charge your pledge if you can, because it's much faster for us and it saves us money. And don't forget, if you call right now and pledge $75, be sure to ask for Over New England, the video of this program, so that you can watch these wonderful pictures anytime, day or night. And if you'd like to pledge $120, we'd love to send you 2 of these programs, one for you and one for a special friend or family member. So call now. Large or small, your pledge makes the difference. And charge it if you can. Since the early 1950s, WGBH, here in New England, has been the standard bearer for public television and radio for the entire country and for much of the world. As you look at these pictures taken over our New England, we hope you'll think about that, and we hope you'll support this station that has brought you so much. Just pick up your phone right now. Call 492-1111, that number that you know so well, and give us your name, your address, and the amount of your pledge. We're especially eager for those of you who have never called before to do so during this time of the year, because it's a time when we especially look for new contributors, new members to WGBH. Membership is $40, and we would love to have your pledge right now. For your calls to 492-1111. Thank you for your pledges, for your membership renewals, and for your new contributions to WGBH. Don't forget, if you're calling from outside of town, to use our 1-800 number. It's 1-800-492-1111, and it's toll-free. And don't forget also, if you would simply like to mail us your check, that's okay too. Our address is WGBH, Box 200, Boston 02134. Mail us your check now, or call one of our two numbers. But don't leave WGBH to someone else, because this is a time when we're asking everyone who watches to do their part. And if you'd like a video of this program that you're watching over New England, the video VHS version, call and pledge $75 and we'll send it to you. Or if you'd like to, pledge $120. But this is a time when every amount and every pledge really counts. So thank you for your calls and for your checks. As you watch these wonderful pictures taken over New England, let's stop for a moment and think about the photographer and the people that made this program and all the other programs that you watch and enjoy on WGBH. Behind every program, every minute of every program that you watch, there is a talented group of people doing their best for you. This is the time to support that level of artistry and that level of excellence. Pick up your phone now, call 492-1111, and join with the rest to keep this sort of program coming. And thank you for your pledges and for your support.
Sleep, Ethan Allen of the Little Clan. Vermont in its quiet way recalls this man. Sleep, Ethan Allen, in the mountains where you belong. Sleep to the thrush's seasonal tranquil song. The poetry of Genevieve Taggart. Some say that if you flattened out Vermont, it would be as big as Texas, and that the soil here creates a green unlike any other. At first glance, no one would argue either claim. Been treading on leaves all day until I am autumn tired. God knows all the color and form of leaves I have trodden on and mired. All summer long they were overhead, more lifted up than I. To come to their final resting place, they had to pass me by. Robert Frost. The snow had begun in the gloaming, and busily all the night had been heaping field and highway with a silence deep and white. Poet Robert Lowell. In the opinion of one ancient mariner, it is upon the unstable element that the sons of New England have achieved their greatest triumphs. Their adventurous prows vex the waters of every sea. They are as bold and restless as the old northern Vikings. The ocean is their pasture. Thoreau remarked that a man may stand on these shores and put all America behind him. It is a place of eternal warring between sand and sea, a battleground New Englanders happily aspire to. From the heart of every city in Massachusetts, one is never far from a place of peace and rejuvenation. Who is there, Norman Rockwell once wondered, who does not want to escape from the speed and rudeness of today's living and run back into the hills where nature goes along in its own ageless, inimitable way to refresh us within and without? One of the oldest recorded descriptions of Boston reads as if it were written yesterday. It is a place crowded on the sea banks and wharfed out with great industry and cost. The buildings are beautiful and large and orderly placed with comely streets, whose continual enlargement presages a sumptuous city. These words were written by London sea captain Edward Johnson. The year was 1654. Connecticut impressed 19th century author Jonathan Daniels to compose these thoughts. There is solitude for the singer and her high notes on a hill. There is rest for the broker, quiet for the writer and for the painter. And there are stretches of countryside undisturbed and unentered by the mixed multitudes who claim it home. The first tribal inhabitants who plied these waters gave this place a name which means beyond the great mountains, Housatonic. The river stretches out like an aisle through a cathedral of gently rounded peaks. On a bright spring day, a setting like this inspired Emerson to write, "There are days which occur within this climate wherein the world reaches its perfection, when the air, the heavenly bodies, and the earth make a harmony, as if nature would indulge her offspring." Of all the beautiful towns it has been my fortune to see, this is the chief. You do not know what beauty is if you have not been here. The words of one of Hartford's and America's most illustrious citizens, Mark Twain. Down below is a finished place, complete in every way. First, carved by nature into pleasing proportions from the elm and the apple, granite and sand, then groomed by the generations and civilization, and colored with red barns, white steeples, and village greens, and lighthouses alone in their watch by the sea. Here, there is a character, and a clarity, and an air that only could be called New England.
Make a difference. Go public and support WGBH in its effort to bring you quality programming by calling 1-800-492-1111. That's 1-800-492-1111. For a pledge of $75, we will send you a VHS copy of Over New England as a thank you gift. Call now.
New England Telephone is proud to underwrite this aerial celebration of New England, the place we call home. We're the one for you, New England. New England Telephone.